Ah, yes, another month, another Humble Bundle Monthly. Hello guys, this is Nick from Those Hairy Gamers. We are back at the Humble Bundle store for another Humble Monthly unboxing. Let's get straight to it. Righto, first of all, the charity being supported this month is Save the Children. Save the Children is an international non-governmental organisation that promotes children's rights, provides relief and helps support children in developing countries. It was established in the UK in 1919 in order to improve the lives of children through better education, healthcare, economic opportunities, as well as providing emergency aid in natural disasters, war and other conflicts. Awesome. Your pretty standard no-frills charity that does a lot of cool work overseas. I dig that. Always great to see Humble Bundle supporting this kind of stuff. Righto, diving straight into the games. First of all, we have Galactic Civilizations 3, a giant conquest-style RTS where you fly around space and build a fleet and do all that kind of cool stuff. I actually have a copy of Galactic Civilizations 1 because Humble Bundle gave it away for free at some point. They just do that sometimes, which is pretty awesome. The price for this on Steam is $30 US, has overall good reviews, looks pretty cool, and it released on the 15th of May 2015. Not a franchise I'm familiar with at all, but I'll be keen to give this one a go and see how we go. Right off the bat, we're paid $12 for the bundle overall, and we already have a game worth 30 bucks. Awesome. Not going to complain about that. Next up, we have Hyperlight Drifter. Echoes of the dark and violent past resonate through the savage land, steeped in treasure and blood. Hyperlight Drifter is an action-adventure RPG in the vein of the best 16-bit classics, which modernise mechanics and designs on a much grander scale. Cool. This looks awesome. I gotta say, right from the get-go, just having a look at some of the imagery they've posted here, the art style looks utterly gorgeous. I mean, they've gone for the whole 16-bit feel, but you can tell it's got the polish of a modern game with enhanced lighting effects, widescreen, all that kind of stuff. Came out March last year. A bit pricey for a pixel graphic game from that time. It's over a year old and still worth $20 US, so, dunno, might be a bit on the pricey side, but that's okay. I'm yet to see how much depth there is in this game, so not going to make a judgment based on that. Very glad to see that Steam says this is like games I've played damn well. I absolutely love damn well. It's got great reviews, people seem to love it, so this will be a good one to check later on. Next up, we have Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Now, I shouldn't have to introduce Dark Souls, but in case you guys don't know, you essentially play as this undead warrior or champion that has to go around this grimdark fantasy universe and basically collect souls or something like that. I'm not too au fait with the Dark Souls universe, but I've already had a go at the first one and I absolutely love this. It's kind of infamous for being insanely difficult. In fact, people use Dark Souls as a benchmark for difficulty when they're talking about games, and it's easy to see why. We already did a short Let's Play on the first Dark Souls in anticipation of this one coming in the Humble Bundle Monthly. We knew this was coming out because they always reveal one game in advance. We also have a copy of Dark Souls 3, so we're going to be doing a Let's Play in each of those games, and I'm frankly not looking forward to it because I had my butt handed to me in the first one. Next we have Mellow, a digital board game which sort of has all the fantasy themes of something like Game of Thrones with some magic thrown in there, but all the characters are like cutesy rabbits and rats and dogs and it's all that anthropomorphic animals kind of thing going on here. I have to say, based on what I can see here on Steam, it does look quite nice. I'm always a bit cautious with board games when it comes to digital versions. I find if the board game itself isn't that strong, then making it digital isn't going to help at all, so this is an example of something I really need to try to make a full judgment on, but based on what I can see here, people seem to love it. Retails on Steam for $20 US, again, something worth much more than the simple buy-in price for the whole bundle. So yes, kicking goals there, Humble Bundle, and yes, at the very least, we do have a very cutesy, pretty game to have a go at here, and after a long day of playing something like Dark Souls, this might just be what I need to calm myself down. Next up, we have Simple Planes, a very cool basic concept of a game. When I open the Steam page, it already shows me, yeah, this is like that Polybridge game you like to play, and I can see exactly why. Basically, it's a very simple physics engine. You design a plane using these very simple components. It's very sort of angular. It's gone for a very basic polygon sort of aesthetic. It's just based off that simple physics engine and playing around with that very simple concept of building a plane and doing various missions with it. You have to drop cargo, drop bombs, drop your pilot in some missions. Basically, you have to design your plane from the ground up to work in these different scenarios. Pretty straightforward. And for some reason, It has race car tracks as well. I guess they just used the physics engine they used with the planes and just applied the same principle to cars and just threw that into the game. Why not? Doesn't matter. Again, very good reviews, worth $13 on Steam, so still $1 more than the entire bundle price, which is awesome. And yes, a fun little design them up game. I think this is something I'm going to have to try with Justin at some point. We're really having a lot of fun with those bridge builders, so I think this will be right up our alley. Okay, next, the big one, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. Now, the Sherlock Holmes franchise is a big AAA franchise. They've sort of flown a bit under the radar in terms of games that have come out recently. At least that's what I've noticed. Here in Australia, I've never heard about these games. And suddenly I see Let's Players like Funhouse play these games, and these look awesome. Essentially, it's very similar to something like Assassin's Creed or the Batman Arkham games, albeit with a lot less stealth takedowns and assassinations. But essentially, you're going around this big open world map looking for clues, solving certain things, and it just looks really, really awesome. It retails for $50 US on Steam, so this is where the bulk of the bundle is putting its value. Which I don't know how to feel about, because this game, to me, isn't what I'm hyped about. I'm way more hyped about, say, Dark Souls or something like that. This is one of those games that, on the face of it, probably should have dropped in value a bit more than it has. It came out now, over a year ago, and still $50. I guess if it has DLC that helps sustain it. If it's still being supported, that's not so bad. It doesn't have any DLC. I've just scrolled down to have a look. But it has very good reviews in general, so maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on it. It does look awesome. It is something I've wanted to try at some stage. Again, just one of those things that have been a bit too expensive to justify, but hey, I just got it in a Humble Bundle monthly, so I'll give it a go and let you guys know what I think. Next up, we have Keira Blaster. Now, I absolutely love the look of this game. It looks like one of those old DOS games you'd get back on the pre-Windows 95 systems. It reminds me a lot of Duke Nukem. Just a very simple pixel graphic art style, very simple color palette, very cheesy sort of sound effects. I don't know, it just takes me back to that world. And this seems to really play around with that art style quite a lot, and I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. I mean, the gameplay looks simple. It looks like the main flavour of the gameplay here is being able to switch around guns, fly around, swim around in water. I just love the look of it. Retails for $10 US on Steam, so a bit pricey for what it is. I mean, again, I'm making assumptions based on the fact that it's a pixel graphic platformer, but it could have a whole heap of depth. I don't know. It came out nearly 2 years ago, probably, I guess closer to 1.5 years ago, and has had really, really good reviews, so excellent. Loving this bundle so far. Alright, last but not least, we have the Humble Original, 2001, A Space Felony. I love that title, that's so clever. Basically, this is a murder mystery in space. Going for the kind of theme of 2001 A Space Odyssey, where you have the space station controlled by an AI that kind of goes rogue and starts killing people for reasons. And basically, it's a murder mystery and you're trying to prove that the AI did it. That's the impression I get anyway. It's the Humble Original, so I'm going to make a point of playing this and getting that Let's Play out over the next week sometime. And just on that topic, I wanted to say we've really been assessing how we do these Let's Plays recently, and trying to play every game in the Humble Bundle monthly as Let's Plays has proven a bit difficult. There's a very large library of games we want to play, so I'm going to make a point right now. In these bundles, I will do a Let's Play for the biggest AAA title in it, and the Humble Original. I will make sure I always do those two, and anything beyond that point is a bonus. And this one looks like a lot of fun. Very keen to give this a go. Stay tuned for that Let's Play over the next couple of weeks sometime. Right, there you have it. That is the Humble Bundle Monthly for July 2017. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.